Okay, welcome to part 4, I think. Yeah, part 4. Okay, today we're going to continue stripping our main engine block. And then we're going to do the hopper, which is here. Not hopper, flywheel. Deary me, where are we today? Yeah, we're not going to be painting for a while because it's a bit cold. But first we've got to strip all this lot. Do the big bits, try that. Get that done, but first we've got to get that done. And then we're going to tempt that thing there, the hopper. So I've got to really get a proper wire brush for that, something like a flat one, not like the cupped one I got at the moment, but a flat one. If I have to go with that cupped one, if I can't get it then, I'll just have to continue that lot over there, not the goggle, all that lot there, and then maybe just try and clean up what we can down there. But well, first I'm going to make a start. Well, continue the block. This side looks relatively done, but if I just go around and turn the block around there, I have to do just the max bracket here and everything. Once I get that done and all the block down there, so I turn it around again. I've got all that to do, which is in there basically, and then I do pretty much all of that. So it's not too bad inside. We'll clean it right out again at the end so you don't get any dust in there. Other than that, it seems pretty good. The hopper inside as well is a bit painted, as you can see, but we clean everything out. We put a wire brush, and then hopefully once we got all the stuff painted, I really should have done this before. Not painted, oh, what's it called? Stripped, that's it, paint stripped. Deary me. And then we got to get I will grind the valves in, but I should have done that really before, but never mind. So I shall make a start of stripping this. This might be a short episode because there won't be much lot done, but I'll just try and do a little bit of update and stuff of bits and pieces done. I'll try and do probably an update with this. I got to like 4 o'clock. I don't know what time it is now, about 12ish, quarter to 5 I got, so I haven't got very long because it's my grand's birthday, so I got to do bits and pieces like that today. So never mind. Here we go. Okay, well, I've been busy cleaning this up. As you can tell, I've got a bit further. I don't know in the camera light, but I have got a bit further because all the side was painted. There ain't very much paint on it because it's all covers and stuff, but I'm just getting the block done. I've had a tiny little crack at the head. I know you couldn't see it, but it's like, that's just going to be a nightmare. There are other ways to put it, but for the younger viewers, it's a nightmare. Okay. I haven't made a start on the flywheel yet, as you can tell. It's just there. Put a key in there just for a minute. Drill key, just chucked it in there. Well, there's the block. It may look like the hole to abyss, but no, it's actually the pit. I just put it over the pit, so it's like level. It shouldn't go anywhere. And then say that it probably fall through the floorboards, but I hope not. Anyway, so we're okay there. So we're going to start here. My phone's ringing. Oh wait a minute, there's a text message, but never mind. You can hear that. Someone do the hamster song, but never mind about that. So me waffling off a bit, and then well, whilst I was just looking through the pieces, because I just stopped for a minute, I looked for the oil filler cap and just thought, how am I going to clean this up here? And then I just saw this on the bottom. Yorkshire then, didn't I? On bottom. Yeah, but what happened here is you got the gasket, which I thought this never had a gasket. I just thought it was a lip and everything, no gasket on it. And I saw the gasket, so I started just thinking, make sure it is a gasket. I just peeled it off. It did catch a little bit there and everything. But it is a cork gasket, so I was quite surprised. If I might reuse it, or if I don't want to, I can sort it out. I think it leaked a bit, so I might just try and, I don't know, I think Mill Autos do, down in Barncoo's Industrial Estate and over there. I think they do cork. I don't know. I'll ask Dad about that, but there you go. It just comes off. I was quite surprised about that, really, because that just fits over there like that, you see. So, quite surprising, really, considering you got your filler cap. I was just thing. Obviously the person who owned it just painted it on. Quite literally painted it on. Could you see the primer around here and that? Okay, thank you. That's what I wanted to tell you, so we'll carry on stripping paint. Okay, well I've finished the block, which is down there now. Okay, I haven't quite finished, but it's finished as far as I can get to, because my angle grinder thing is a cupped one, and is not good enough for fitting all the gaps. I need like one of the flattish ones. Like, I don't know if I can pick one up quickly. I did see one to hand. Here we go. Yeah, there's like something like that. That's all I need. Something like that, but go on an angle grinder. I know you can get them. Don't know if they actually. Well, as far as I can know, you could get them. I don't know if to say health and safety or something, and said no, they're too dangerous like they usually do. But at the moment, that's mine there. It's all I mean, it's a bit worn out, I must admit. Look at that, tiny little bit left. That's all I got left until I get a new one. Well, that's Dad, maybe see if we get a new one. But that's that. So there's the block done. I've just started the flywheel, which is a. Oh, I don't like stripping paint. I can see why everyone hates it. Yeah, but I got a load of engines left to do. I got what have I got? Lister LD to do next. And then I may be doing Lister A next, but it depends if I get it or not. And if I don't get it, I've got a Rusting Hornsby 8PB to do next. And after I've done all that lot, I've got my Lister D, which is going to need a new load of bearings, but that's another time. There's a few more restoration series to come. Well, after doing that, I got a bit bored, so I thought, what can I do? Doing that. So I'm going to continue doing that, but I did something which is a bit different. I can put it there. This thing, I call him Gary. Say hello, Gary. Hello, Gary. Hello. Called Gary. Hello, Gary. Yeah, just a bit of fun. It's called Gary, just for a bit of fun. Because Gary cheers me up. So I've done Gary on the fuel tank with the angle grinder wild brush. But it strips paint as well, so it's going to save me time and a bit of fun. I'll take a picture of Gary later. Don't know how you spell Gary, but I'll find out in a minute. Don't worry. Gary. There we go. Gary is going to go over in the corner for a minute. Sit in the naughty corner, Gary. Oh, I got a bit babyish then, never mind. Well, there's Gary. That's just to cheer me up a little bit because I got so bored. Well, I'll take a picture of Gary later, but there you go. That's that. I was thinking of what colour to paint it. Paint the engine. I've seen engines original condition, but mine being painted. Wolseley Steam Wally's got one. Steam Wally's got a WD2. That's original condition. I thought if mine was like that, I probably would have kept it like that. But I got original D already, so I think a nice painted engine. So I couldn't do that, so that was ruled out. And then MO3 Mini, I believe he's called. MO3 Mini, that's him. He had a WD. He's painted it in maroon. Rusting Hornsby maroon. That's a nice colour, I must admit. It does look quite nice. But I prefer to go original. So just bear with me a few seconds. I'll show you what I got. Don't know if you can see that through the wraps, but it's Wolseley Grey from Stationary Engine Parts. I've heard they're quite good quality maker of paint, and it's 1 litre. I know it may not seem a lot, but Wolseley Phil said, Steam Wally said that 500ml will paint a few engines, so I got 1 litre instead. Because knowing me, because I'm spraying the engine, I think I might use a bit more. I don't know. Well, there it is. That's the colour I'm going to be painting it. Similar colour to what was on it now, if you look back in the previous episodes. So that's my colour. It's sorry for the quietness, but that's me just walking back, putting it back on the shelf. I got thinners from Stationary Engine Parts, so I strongly recommend you get bits from Stationary Engine Parts. So maybe a link in the description if I remember, but there you go. But if you just punch in Stationary Engine Parts on Google or Bing, I don't know about Bing, but Google, it just comes up. the caption underneath is like buy list of petter parts, and they do Wolseley parts in there and all paint. Sometimes there are a few tractor parts in there as well. But there you go. They're pretty good as well. I've seen their head gasket. I got a head gasket for and all, and there we go. There's me rambling on a bit. So, well, carry on making this. You've seen Gary, and I've seen how little wire brush I got left. So I'll probably have to stop when the wire brush wears out, probably. I've got a few bits left to do, and once we start cleaning it up, we'll just wait for the weather to warm up and we'll start spraying, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Never mind. There we go. So I'll continue doing this. I'll take a picture of Gary, and there you go. Thank you. I've had to put an end to the paint stripping because, well, I started doing the front, but I got to finish all the back as well. I'm doing many places at once, but that's me. I had to put an end to it though because of one slight thing. Not the angle grinders packed in or anything. It's my wire brush. If I get that into focus, can you see how little's left? Just that tiny little bit. And then when I started, it was like that somewhere. It's all up there like that. So I've gone down that much. So I'm going to have to get a hook. Because I've got no credit on my phone and stuff. I'm going to have to wait till someone rings me. And thing. So, hopefully Dad will ring me and he might pick up one somewhere. I don't know. Because look at that. I haven't got a spare one. Well, I don't think there's a spare one here. But I'll try and root around for one. But, well, I can't really do much with that, can you? Tiny little thing like that. It's okay on the inside, look at it all. You got that metal band around the outside, that's all I got left with. So it's a bit disappointing, I know. Well, other than that, I've got quite far. I've done that. The flywheel, I've done the block. I suppose now I've just got to clean up and polish shiny pieces. I like shiny pieces, but I've got to do the shiny pieces, I suppose, because I can't really do much. Your mother ain't collecting me till I don't know, 4ish, I don't know. Something like that. So I got to think of somewhere. I'm not just sitting here boredom. So I might try and I don't want to do stuff by hand because that's just boring. So I'm going to do some polishing, I think, because that's the best thing I can do. Other than that, because it's thing, because I've got no wire brush technically. Well, so I did have some wire brush left. I did get the 2 big head studs done. They're shiny. Look at those lovely. They look solid gold, don't they? They haven't been polished. They've just been cleaned up with an angle grinder because they have paint on them. I want to put them in the head, screw them down like they would be, then lacquer them so they stay shiny under water. Because you know water tarnishes the brass. Because what they were like before. Here's the short ones, but that's basically an idea. So you got the old ones and the new ones. Look at that. The tips are a bit nah. See, yeah, I see. And MO3 Mini said that the long ones go on either side of the spark plug area, where you know the recess in the head is. If you ever own a Wolseley, I'll just don't know if my head. No, my head ain't the right way round. I can't really do it on camera. I'll turn the head and I'll show you in another video. But they go either side of it, and the reason being nothing to do with compression or undue strain. It's because it's a rise. They're there to help you put a socket on them or a spanner to take them off. Because if you got a small one by there, you couldn't quite get enough grip on it to use the socket. So that's why I put 2 long ones there. It's nothing to do with. Because if you look up there. See, all the head studs are the same length, basically, there. So that's why they got 2 long ones, which I think is quite clever. They're thinking of convenience. That's what I call customer service. So, other than that, I can't really get a lot much more done. So I'm just gonna have to start polishing. It was a bit dusty in here, I must admit, with all that stuff going. I've had to shut the door because it was cold outside, so I try to warm it up as best as I can. It's still pretty cold in here, but I'm not feeling cold because I've been working. Everything's warm, so we're okay. It's just this engine in here, for wondering. There are no more engines because it's the first time engine's ever been in here. So there you go. Never mind. My dad usually goes over and repairs cars, but I'm repairing an engine. But never mind. Oh, well, I enjoy myself. I enjoy myself during this restoration, so we'll start polishing. This episode may seem a bit boring because it's there ain't really much you can say when you're paint stripping, is there? Well, I just do like updates how far you got, can't you? That's all you can do. Cause ain't really a lot you can say. Well, I've just stripped the paint off and that's it. They may find something strange underneath the paint, like I did with the crack in, well, not crack, like a gash with an angle grinder. If you look back on my previous episodes, you'll see pictures of that. But it's not really much you can see or say about it, really, can you? Because it's paint stripping. It's boring, and that's that. Fact of life. Paint stripping is boring. Well, it's the only way around it. You can't, if you want to, you can paint over the top, but it's a better finish if you strip it. So, never mind. So that's the best I can do. So, we'll start polishing. Okay, well, I've been polishing up some pieces because the angle grinder wire brush has gone down. Okay, because you couldn't do much with it anyway now, so it's gone completely. So I've been polishing up some pieces. I've done the spec plate. Oh, I thought I hear an ice cream van. Yeah, ice cream van in this weather. I don't think there's many people want ice cream in this weather. Freezing. That's just going to get really annoying. But never mind. Let's try and go through it. Okay, well, I've polished up the pieces. I did the spec tag and fuel line. The fuel line was quite a bugger really to do because it's highly corroded because it was off another engine. Because I did have one on here, but it was let's say I had a chunk missing out the middle of it. So it did have a rubber pipe on it, but because I was little, I wanted everything to be shiny and good, didn't I? Because I was little when I had this engine. I was 6, I believe. 6, something like that. So I got a different one off my granddad bought a spare engine, which now my cousin has got for a restoration project. It wasn't missing anything really. It was just, well, it wasn't missing anything at all actually. The only thing it was missing after I'd been through was a mag cover and a fuel line and I think it was a chest box. I don't know, but I never had the box, the cover to go over the valves, but I never had that. But that was missing off it, so I don't know. It looked like someone took it off. It looks like mine, but I don't think so. But never mind, it's mine now. Whoever's it came off, who doesn't have the paint on it, but never mind. So that's a bit off subject. So I polished these up, and then I did the fuel line, which was all tarnished. I still got to do the nuts, but it doesn't look too bad on camera. Done the jet, which the jet's just like a piece of brass with a hole in it. And then I tried doing the float chamber body itself after I did the lid, which is brass as well. And I did the lid, which, as you can tell, which is there, the lid and everything. And the body itself, I thought it was aluminium at first, and I had some aluminium polished stuff here, polished aluminium, but now I think it's like monkey metal. And monkey metal is a sort of thing which is like a mix between, I don't know, it's like aluminium, iron, and I don't know, stuff. I think it's a mixture of metal. It's all sorts of things, but I thought it was aluminium because when it's tarnished, it looks a bit like aluminium. Because the aluminium at the moment, if you can see it, there's the mag. That's what I'm going to do up next, is the mag, not do it up, like clean it. Clean the mag inside and out. I have done a mag before, my Ruston Hornsby PB. So, yeah, after cleaning all that lot up, I've looked at it all, tried to do this thing, and it was monkey metal. So I polished it up the best I could. It's got a sort of shine to it, but it's not shiny, you see your face in it. But that's monkey metal for you. So I'm going to make a crack on the mag, and hopefully Mum will be here because I don't drive because I'm 13. So I can't really drive, can I? Or else Gotta be legal, but I'm legal, I suppose. But there you go. There we go. So I'm gonna make a crack on the mag. It does may not look complete, as you can tell. It may not look complete with the cover missing, but I reassure you the cover is actually in the boxes over there somewhere. But there you go. I'll clean this place up when I'm done in a minute. So first thing is clean the mag up, and then I've got to clean the rest of this mess out. Look at it. Consider I've just used an angle grinder. Look at the mess I've made. Deary me. Deary me. Oh look, my dad is on the way. Better see what he wants. So, yep, so mag next. Okay, I thought I'd take this opportunity to show you with the point cover off, to show you how the impulse mechanism works. So I just got the what the setup would look like in the Wolseley, just to make it easier for show. So basically it's all connected up. This is the impulse mechanism. As you can see, it turns around quite freely. And then you get this stop. It just stops. You see, it just stops. Points is shut. And as the engine's still turning, it'll go so far and you hit a catch. And then it'll go so far again and it'll just bang over. And then that bang. So ready? Bang. 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 So that's a very, very high tension spark, which is so powerful. It's a big spark. And then once the engine gets to speed, you just basically just ticks over. See, when I flick it around really fast, it doesn't engage the impulse mechanism. So basically it stops the points. So what happens is it just stops the points dead, like that. And then the engine still turns over, hits you the latch and then bangs over. About like a quarter of a turn the thing does, about that, judging by what I can see. So basically what happens is you just spin it over, and this mechanism will not work upside down or backwards. So it's got to be like a thing. That's what I've worked out basically. So if you have a mag upside down, the impulse mechanism won't work. And if you run it backwards, like I'm doing here, very slowly, it's not doing it any good, and also it's not firing the impulse. But if I turn it the correct rotational way, bang, fires. So what happens is your points freeze, and it just turns the rotor and everything, or whatever you call it, the stator or whatever in there, so fast, turns it so fast, it generates a high tension spark. And what happens then, when it generates its high tension spark, it goes down the HD lead, and for cold starting, it makes it easier for cold starting, basically. And that's why they say you should never run the engine very slow, because if you run it too slow, what happens is you just keep hearing the impulse fire, and that would just wreck the mag and the impulse, because it's like this all the time. So it should be turning over pretty fast. Then you got your thing going about 700 RPM when it's running, like that. So that's basically how the impulse mechanism works. Very simple configuration. I quite find it quite fascinating. If I try and bring the camera and show you the actual mechanism, don't know if you can see that. I've got to try and get the zoom out the right way. Ready? There's your spark plug. Don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to line up this and wait a minute, sorry about the bad camera skills. Ready? You just see that? Spark? It's a bit blurry, I must admit. But zoom out basically. Trying to zoom out on this thing. So basically it just turns it around, gets to the stop, like this. It turns around, just stops. So it's like a spring back action. And then 3, 2, 1, bang. That's the impulse basically. So the point's close up, basically. See that rotor? So you see it come around, and then bang. See it just flick over. So it stops and then fires again. That's your impulse click. So that's when you hear on any impulse engine when it either slowing down to a stop, running incredibly slow, which it shouldn't do, or on startup you hear that click click. That's your impulse mechanism. That's nothing to do with the engine. That's the impulse mag. I don't know about D's. I suppose you could fit it to a D somehow, make some sort of adapter. So an impulse, basically, usually fit on Wyco A series, the SR mags as well for the WD9s, the later ones. Wolseley went over to using the SR, I think, or RS1 mags for their WD9s. So by the last WD8s were the ones with the Wyco A series, which this one is. So other than that, I don't know if you can see that Wyco A series mag. It's a bit dirty. It will need cleaning up, and then you got that bit, the tag and everything. They went to SR and everything, so that's that. This bit in here, I believe, is to oil the impulse, but it says oil every 200 hours. To like I'd run it about a day every shows. I suppose it's basically about once a year, maybe. Just stick a bit of oil in the first run of the season, or every New Year's Day, just stick a bit of oil in it. I don't know, something like that. So that's basically how your impulse mechanism works. There's a back end view of it. There is a latch. If you don't know if you can see that, that's your latch there. So it says you stop, you watch it go around, and then whoop, bang, just fires over like that. There you go. See the latch just catches it and then bang, just fires over. And there's your drive dog assembly. That's all it is. You got your gear on your engine. See that? And that basically just connects onto that. That's basically all it is. So if you run it over fast enough, it will not fire, and then get your impulse stop, and then bang, bang. And quite surprised how old some of these rubbers get, and they don't perish, which I was quite surprised. So I might pick up some new ones if sooner. I'm not saying I want any now. I'm just saying I might just pick up some new ones just in case at the shows it goes and you don't hear your impulse and it's just that disintegrated. You have to keep a new one in your toolbox at any time. It's always handy. I would try and get a spare mag as well. Always nice to have like spare mag to do your engine. So always carry a spare mag around at the show. So if your spark goes, you instead of just going, "Oh dear me, the engine won't run," just take a spare mag out, time it back up, and away she goes. Fingers crossed. No mind, like the engine will never run at a show. Run okay home here on camera, and then won't do that. So, but that's basically how your impulse works in your mag. Wyco A series, they use these up till the WD9s. From WD1 to WD8 with a they use Wyco A series, and then from the WD9, which is the last of the WDs, use the Lucas SR or RS. I can't be fully sure. Don't go by that, because if you do ever see a WD9 with this sort of mag on it, basically they've been changed over during its working life. So that's that. There's your sparking plug. I'll try and show you the spark one last time because I haven't got very long left. Ready? I don't think you saw that. Let me try and use the gear because it's kind of hard to turn over. Ready? There it is. 3, 2, 1. Oh, I don't think it's got a proper ground thing, but that's basically it. There you go. Bang. So there you go. That's basically it. That's it probably for today. I might clean up the mag tomorrow. So thanks for watching. Part 4, part 5 coming soon.